Hello everyone! Later tonight, we have WWE Summerslam, exclusively streaming in the US on Peacock and everywhere else in the world on the WWE Network. So, later tonight we will have the pay-per-view taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Raiders. So, we're doing something a little bit different today. Because, believe it or not, and I will give a big plug to my former host of Spam, Sports, Politics, and More, that was on UCY TV for a couple of years, Frank Tadero, giving me a link for a exclusive Facebook group prediction. So, pretty much, this is a contest. I don't know what I'm supposed to win out of this. I guess it's supposed to be for morale or something. Or I guess just because Frank wants me to organize my predictions. If that's a good incentive, then Frank, I thank you for that. So, we have a lot to get into. A lot of matches that needs to be predicted. Before I get started with the predictions, I want to mention of note, last night, if you were not watching AEW, a big surprise came back in the world of professional wrestling, and that is CM Punk has returned to the ring and is officially All Elite. And he will be competing on September 5th at All Out. So stay tuned for Labor Day weekend, where I will be making predictions for the AEW pay-per-view coming up then. And I figured tomorrow what I'll do is I'm going to have Andy Plays up and I'm going to have updates on the hurricane. But I figured let's have some extra fun this weekend, since most of us in the Northeast are going to be in quarantine now that the hurricane's coming. I'm going to make predictions for NXT tomorrow. So a lot of fun stuff's coming up. Stay tuned for more. So let's start off with SummerSlam this weekend. So I figured let's be fair here and make some good predictions. I like these questions. I guess the first one we're going to start off with, what match will kick off SummerSlam? Now I'm going to be realistic about this, and I think most likely what's going to end up happening will be, and I know I'm being realistic, Drew McIntyre taking on Jinder Mahal. So I think that will end up being the first match of the pay-per-view. I just see it happening. I could see it likely happening. The undercard match starting first. Yeah, I could see it happening. Okay, I'm going to go with the obvious. The main event at the SummerSlam is going to be Universal Champion Roman Reigns taking on Cena. So I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley taking on Goldberg. So that will be a brief match, and I'll get into specifics as we go along here. First up, let's predict the Raw Tag Team Championship match. AJ Styles and his tag team partner Omos taking on the team of RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle. This is the time where you put the belts on these two. So we will have new Raw Tag Team Champions. What they could end up doing is maybe they'll have Randy Orton turn heel if they lose the match. I could see it happening. And then you could look into a long rivalry with Riddle. But I think hopefully Vince McMahon doesn't do something stupid here. And most of us just want to see RK Bro dominate the Raw Tag Team division, because there's not really a good tag team in the Raw division anyway. So why not have these two, this unlikely duo who was in the Thunderdome, might as well, right? Okay. Next up, we're going to move on to Alexa Bliss taking on Eva Marie. And I think this is where something interesting happens here, where Alexa Bliss turns back into her old, Harley Quinn character. I know I'm going to be a little bit controversial for saying that, but now that Bray Wyatt's gone, what are they going to do? I'm just going to say this for the record. that you could turn her back to a face character. I think we're due for it, right? Right? Sooner or later it has to happen. Why not at SummerSlam? So either way, I think Alexa Bliss is going to win. And if she doesn't, I'll be very surprised, because I think we're all getting sick and tired of this gimmick. Especially because they could have kept it up if The Fiend was still around. But remember, Bray Wyatt was released by WWE, which was dumb by Vince McMahon to do. Why would you get rid of him? So yeah. Next up, we're going to move on to Drew McIntyre taking on Jinder Mahal to kick off SummerSlam. So I think McIntyre is going to win, just because I could see McIntyre getting some morale. He is still a top character you want to watch on Raw. And, you know, the modern day Maharaja had his time a long time ago. And, you know, I was happy for him 4 years ago, back in 2017. He deserved it at the time, but, you know, we're in a new direction now. And, you know, hey, Jinder gets to be on the SummerSlam card, so that's a morale victory for him. But McIntyre's just going to win. We know what's going to happen. The United States Champion Sheamus will be taking on Damien Priest, and this is where we are going to have a new champion. Because I know Sheamus has been selfish, and that's how his character is, but keep in mind, you're going to have Damien Priest, who's been dominating since he's come to the main roster. You make him lose this match, that's embarrassing. So, Damien Priest wins. New champion will be Damien, and Sheamus loses the match. So, obvious who I'm going to pick in this match. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Sorry, Sasha, you're not winning the belt back. Still retaining her belt will be Bianca Belair. And honestly, if Bianca doesn't win, something's just wrong with this company. I mean, I understand Michael Cole loves to say, it's birthday. It's me, I'm Michael Cole. I love Sasha. I like her wrestling. No! Bianca's been killing it since she became champion in April. Right, April. Right, she won in WrestleMania because she beat Sasha. So I know Sasha was due for her rematch, but sorry, you're going to lose, Sasha Banks. Okay, Rey and Dominik Mysterio taking on the Usos. Sorry, I just love the song. Sorry, Rey and Dominik, but this is where Rey and Dominik lose. And I could see a rivalry where Rey and Dominik fight each other. I know, they're building it up. You know they're building it up, so that way Rey and Dominik can fight each other. You know, I think we would love to see that match. Father versus son? I mean, these are two... I mean, one's an up-and-coming guy, Dominik. One is a future Hall of Famer, Rey. So, that's where they're building it up to, I think. Triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. This is where Nikki ASH is going to defend. And this is where I think most likely is going to happen. At the end of the match, when Nikki ASH is celebrating, Becky Lynch will come out and officially return to the WWE. Where, remember, she is obligated to a rematch for the championship. Technically, even though she gave it up to Asuka with the Money in the Bank match last year when she announced she was pregnant, Becky has been seen touring with her husband Seth. Even though Seth's on SmackDown, Becky is supposed to be on Raw. So, I think this is where you build it up to the fall months where Nikki ASH and Becky Lynch face each other for the championship. So, Becky Lynch is coming back. I'll be very surprised if she doesn't later tonight. Edge versus Seth Rollins. I'm sorry to say this, but I think Seth Rollins is going to win. Now, why do I think Seth Rollins is going to end up winning? Well, let's get into the obvious. Edge is just a part-time wrestler, okay? And I don't want to hear, oh, Edge's neck will be broken if Seth Rollins hits the curb stop. I don't want to hear any of that, okay? You need to understand that down the line, they're going to end up giving Seth Rollins a title match. It's going to happen sooner or later. You know, I think they're just building it up so that way we know when it could happen. Likely maybe at the next pay-per-view or sometime in October. But let's be honest. Edge is not coming back after this, no matter what. Even if his neck gets injured or not. You know, look, I know the fans love Edge. I like Edge too. Let's admit that. But Edge is a part-time wrestler. What is he supposed to do? What? Oh, I've only back for 9 months. Look at me, I won the Royal Rumble. I should have been the champion. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, do we really want to see that right now? And plus, I think Seth Rollins is going to hit the pedigree on Edge. Nothing just tells me that enough curb stomps, Edge is not going to give up. I think Edge is going to continue fighting, even if he feels like he's been put through the boiler. Something tells me Seth Rollins is going to win using the pedigree. And I don't know how much Triple H. I think it's because Seth is just going to think dark thoughts and use that move on him. Seth Rollins wins. And by the way, Big E is not going to cash in. So if anybody thinks that Big E Langston's going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, I don't think he will cash in. Oh, by the way, what happened to Corbin? I didn't even watch SmackDown last night because I was too busy getting ready for AEW last night. And thankfully, it was worth waiting for AEW because I wanted to see CM Punk. Okay, here we go. WWE Champion Bobby Lashley taking on Goldberg. Boring. It's going to be a brief match. Goldberg's going to lose. But there is a possibility that, you know, maybe the next night on Raw, I could see Big E cashing in. I could see it happening. Not at SummerSlam. But I think because Goldberg didn't hit the spear on Lashley tonight, I think they're going to wait until Monday, the earliest, to make Langston cash in. Big E's going to cash in Monday night. I don't think he'll cash in tonight. I think he'll wait till Monday. The earliest could be Monday. And then our main event, John Cena taking on the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. I know Roman was saying he put his career on the line, but we know what's going to happen. John Cena's going back to Hollywood. Come on. You really think John Cena's going to win? John Cena admitted he's going to lose. Come on. It's obvious what's going on here. And plus, you know they want to have the Finn Balor-Roman Reigns match. Or probably a triple threat with Seth Rollins somehow ends up in the match. Probably at the next pay-per-view or sometime in October. Because remember, in November, you're going to have Survivor Series. Because remember, champion versus champion. That's how it works. So, you never know. There could be a title change before Survivor Series in November. But it's not happening tonight. No. Sorry, John Cena. You're not going to break Ric Flair's record. I know you're desperate to keep bragging on about it. But you're an actor now. Go back to Hollywood. So there you have it. There are my predictions for SummerSlam. So again, tomorrow I'm going to have my predictions for NXT tomorrow night. And then I know for September 5th, I will be making my predictions for AEW. So I know I'm starting to get back into AEW because now that CM Punk is going to be a part of it, you know, I'm like, I might as well watch again. And there goes my first video for today. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, please take care. And just a quick reminder that the pay-per-view starts tonight at, I believe it's 8 p.m. I'm just going to make sure right now. Let me just double check. Well, let me make sure I don't hit that button. Oof. Lose all my predictions. Okay, so it will start at kickoff show 7 p.m. Then you got the pay-per-view on Peacock at 8 p.m. tonight. So just putting that out. So enjoy it tonight. Till the next one, take care.